Why change your job every 2 years? Well, think of it like this. You go for a new mobile contract, you go for new insurance, you get a great deal, but you stay with that mobile provider, with your insurance company for a few years, and you just get taken for granted. They just see you as a cash cow, and they're not going to offer you any deals.
The craziest trick for you. If you're super depressed and hate your job, but you don't want to start over and you don't want to make less money, let me give you the trick that I give all my clients.
When you apply to a brand new job, don't just think about applying just to get a brand new role. Think of it more as the next step in your career. Most of you guys, when you're applying for a job, you're only applying just to make some money.
Wow, 21,000 people laid off from Intel. It makes you want to rethink giving everything you've got to one employer.
Balancing 5 different streams of income definitely keeps me busy, definitely keeps my schedule chaotic. I constantly feel like I'm always doing something different. Sometimes I'm a server, sometimes I work at the dispensary, sometimes I'm a beauty advisor. Like, it literally just depends on the day. Outside of that, as y'all know, my 3 scheduled jobs, I also have additionally my own business where I make hair content. It's something I really enjoy and I'm blessed enough to make money from it.
Here's something to know about me in this job market. I refuse to submit thousands of job applications only to hear back from 1 or 2 people and then not hear back from anyone else except rejection letters.
All right, the time has come, and this is first come, first serve. Those of you guys that are looking for an online remote job, you don't have to build a brand. You don't have to do any social media marketing, put yourself out there whatsoever. A lot of you guys want to make at least $30 an hour or more.
During and after COVID, with the remote work boom, more people were working multiple jobs in secret. They weren't letting their employers know that they had multiple jobs, whether part-time jobs, freelance jobs, or full-time jobs.
In the land of opportunity, the American dream is no longer about owning a home or building a future, it's about survival. And for millions, that means working not just 1 job, but 2, 3, even 4, just to make ends meet. From the early morning hustle to the midnight grind, this is the daily reality for countless Americans. Nurses pulling double shifts, warehouse workers clocking in at sunrise and driving Uber at night, single parents barely seeing their children because their schedules never stop. They're not lazy. They're not unskilled. They are the backbone of this country, doing everything society asked of them, working hard, staying disciplined, sacrificing sleep, rest, even their health. And still, it's not enough. Wages haven't kept up with inflation. Rent is rising. Groceries cost more than ever. Medical bills and student debt pile up while corporations post record profits and CEOs take home millions. Somewhere along the way, the system stopped working for the people at the bottom and started protecting those at the very top. So when we talk about the American workforce, we need to ask, why is it that in the wealthiest country on earth, a full-time job no longer guarantees a stable life? Why are working people still drowning in debt, stuck in poverty, and robbed of their time, energy, and dignity? This is the story of modern America, where working hard doesn't mean getting ahead, it means just trying not to fall further behind.
Here's something to know about me in this job market. I refuse to submit thousands of job applications only to hear back from 1 or 2 people and then not hear back from anyone else except rejection letters. I will work my fingers to the bone working 3, 4 jobs at retailers rather than subject myself to that type of demoralization. Now, make no mistake, I am still looking for full-time work, full-time lucrative work within the communications field, within the marketing field. My time in broadcast journalism is pretty much done. But also at the same time, I have job number 2 secured, so I'm willing to do what I have to do to keep putting food on the table. But that thousands of jobs, nah, dog.
The craziest trick for you. If you're super depressed and hate your job, but you don't want to start over and you don't want to make less money, let me give you the trick that I give all my clients. I'm a career psychologist and I profile you and I figure out what you're meant to do in your life. We do like a PhD version of this, but I'll give you the elementary school version that you can do right now. Step 1, find the jobs with the skills you already have. I found the craziest resource on LinkedIn. It is extremely hard to find. I don't know how I fell on it, but you literally put in your job and it'll tell you the jobs that you have transferable skills for. Comment link and I'll send it to you. Once you find the jobs that you're actually interested in, that you have transferable skills for, step 2, go to ChatGPT and put in this prompt. Give me a roadmap and you insert the job with step-by-step instructions on how I could get there and include salary ranges. Now do this for all the jobs and you'll get an exact roadmap and salary expectations for each. That's the key. If you want more personalized guidance, link in bio.
Why change your job every 2 years? Well, think of it like this. You go for a new mobile contract, you go for new insurance, you get a great deal, but you stay with that mobile provider, with your insurance company for a few years, and you just get taken for granted. They just see you as a cash cow and they're not going to offer you any deals. The moment you decide to go somewhere else, oh, would you like to have this deal or that deal? They get really, really interested. And it's exactly the same when you're working for a company. You stay for 2-3 years, maybe a bit longer, and you really do get taken for granted. But the moment you start thinking about moving and let people know, they might get interested. But the thing is, you've just got to make that move every couple of years. Just the way we should do that with our mobile contracts or our insurance deals. It's the only way to actually keep growing and keep moving and keep getting the best for you. So please, don't stay too long in that job.
One thing that a lot of y'all have got to stop doing is volunteering information about yourselves on the job. Until you are on the job long enough to establish who's crazy and who's not, guard yourself and be very careful about the information that you give. I've witnessed certain situations where there's a new hire and then there's a coworker, and that coworker is nosy and they'll ask the new hire 1,000 different questions, and then that new hire will also volunteer even more information than a coworker originally asked for, and then that same coworker
Hey, what's up?
I have a new project I want you to work on.
No, I'm not taking on any more projects.
What do you mean? We're going to give you whatever projects that we need to give you, so you just need to take this one on.
No, you've already given me like 5 extra projects from the people that can't do their jobs. I'm not taking on anybody else's responsibilities.
This is a team environment and you need to help out.
I don't care if I'm not a team player.
Well, you should.
It's not a team if I'm doing all of the work and they're not doing anything. They're getting rewarded for their stupidity.
Wow, that's rude.
Okay, yeah, well...
That is not at all what's happening.
That's the impression I'm getting.
Well, your impression is wrong, okay?
Okay, well, like I said, I'm not going to be doing it.
Yeah, actually, you are going to be doing it. It's your job to pick up this stuff.
Okay. How about have the people that it's their job to do it, do it?
Well, they're not able to do it. That's why I need you.
You're the manager.
And?
Have them do it.
They don't know how to do it. I don't know what else to tell you.
Okay.
Are you going to help me or what? Because I need you to do it.
All right. Well, I gotta go.
So you're going to do it?
Bye.
Wait.
I just finished my part-time job at Woolies, and you know what? Like, how crazy it is, bro. I barely did any work at all during the 8-9 hour shift, and I get more money in my bank account compared to like my full-time job as a tax accountant. Like, isn't it insane, bro? I think the system here is kind of like broken, bro. You go to like uni for a few years and then come out, you're stressed out, you work, your job is like not easy as well as a tax accountant, bro. And come on, man. I know it's tax accountant as an entry level job, but comparing to like a part-time job that anybody can replace, you get more money in that kind of job, bro. And then like, why should I even be an accountant? I know like some people argue that we would get incremental increase, later on, like the salary rise later on. But still, it's an entry level. We still do like a million times more work with our brain, especially where we get more or less pay. Even later, the money increase is not that much as well.
The corporate landscape is changing right in front of your eyes, and you have to be there for all of it. Ready or not, here it comes. This is where your agility and adaptability skills will come into play. What does this mean? Well, when you have an administration in power that believes in deregulation, shit's gonna get real, okay? For employees, regular people. So with saying that, there are 3 things you must do right now. 1 being document. Continue to document. I've been telling you this for years, but your documentation must be on steroids now. Why? Because you don't know what's going to happen day to day, second to second right now. If you saw my video on whose unemployment gets denied and how, then you understand why I'm saying this. 2, stay up on the policies as they change and evolve. Know what standards you're being held to. And that includes attendance. The reason why I'm specifying that, because I post a lot of jobs daily on my YouTube channel, and the reoccurring theme that I'm seeing is attendance is a must. You must show up for work. Who would have thought that you have to put that in the job requirements? But hey, here we are. And 3, keep your ear to the corporate streets to see what's going on. Do less speaking and more listening. Let them talk, you listen. And honorable mention, show up and show out. Make sure you're doing your job optimally until you don't need the job anymore. Okay? There are a lot of unemployed people right now, and the corporations have their pickings. So they can decide that they don't want you today and have somebody else in the seat tomorrow. It's that many people unemployed.
Does anyone else feel like corporate America is just kind of fake? Like you go into an interview and you have to like make up answers to questions like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or why do you want to work here? I want to work there because I want to make money. And then the line just never stops. It's like you got to be excited about going in every day. And you can't really tell people if you're having a bad day because then you won't be a culture fit. It really is a giant game, and I know I cannot be the only person that's felt that way or feels that way.
Here are 3 reasons why some employees are labeled difficult to work with. Let's get into it. The first reason is they are critical thinkers. Some managers and coworkers find this to be problematic because critical thinkers want to explore solutions to problems. They want to analyze the problem. They want to make sure that they get it right. So what they do is try to think it out instead of just having knee-jerk reactions. Also, you're not going to be able to tell a critical thinker things are the way they are just because they are. They like to ask questions. They want to know the why and the reasoning behind it. And when you ask managers questions, some of them feel threatened and challenged. And, somehow you're challenging their authority when actually the critical thinker is just trying to get clarity. Which leads me to point 2. If you're not a people pleaser, you're considered to be problematic or difficult to work with. People pleasers and yes men are pretty much the same type of people. You ask them to do anything and they'll say yes just to please the manager and then whine about it later. We're not going to talk about how that leads to high blood pressure, strokes, and heart attacks. We'll save that for another video. If you're not a yes man or a people pleaser, you're going to be labeled very difficult to work with, aggressive, and every other thing they can think of. They'll just throw it in there. Which brings me to point 3. People who have boundaries will be labeled difficult to work with. Why? Because they have boundaries and there are certain things they're not going to do. And people with boundaries typically have integrity. People who have boundaries and integrity typically do the right thing when no one's looking. So therefore, when a manager makes a request that doesn't seem quite right, these type of people will question the request. And if it's not right, they'll say they don't feel comfortable doing it. They'll speak up. And at that point, they will be deemed difficult to work with. An honorable mention, people who point out things in the workplace that are not quite right or processes that are not working are considered negative and will be labeled difficult to work with. The powers that be just want them to be quiet and not say anything. They'll be called negative Nancy and all kind of other things just to make them be quiet. So to summarize, if you do what's right when nobody's looking, you stick up for yourself and speak out against wrongs, you're going to be considered difficult to work with. So are you difficult to work with? If so, comment in the chat.
All right, the time has come, and this is first come, first serve. Those of you guys that are looking for an online remote job, you don't have to build a brand. You don't have to do any social media marketing, put yourself out there whatsoever. A lot of you guys want to make at least $30 an hour or more. You want to work remote. I finally have an opportunity for you. You actually get to work with people like myself and other influencers that need customer support for their products, and they also need social media management for their social media profiles. So if you're looking to work between 4 to 8 hours a day, you want to make at least $30 an hour, this opportunity is for you. And once the spots fill up, obviously the spots will fill up. I've actually gotten in touch with a lot of other influencers and different companies out there. So we've got a network of opportunities for you to work with these different influencers as well as myself to just manage our social media. It's very binary, I guess you would say. It's very simple, copy and paste type of stuff, as well as we need to give you some knowledge as to what our products are, how to manage our social media profiles, things of that nature, but that's very simple and easy. You'll be able to learn from us as well as leverage AI to sort of kind of automate the process as well. If you want to get access to this network, you want to start working as soon as today, you want to maybe quit your job, you want something that's less stress, more flexible, then just go ahead and comment remote in the comments. You also want to make sure that you're following this profile. And to get access to the website where you can access the network of different influencers and companies that you can go ahead and submit your application for. Again, you could be a beginner. You don't need any prior experience, by the way. Approval is very easy, but again, it's first come, first serve. So to get access to that network of companies and influencers that you can contact, links at the top of my bio, that will show you exactly how you can get started. And I think this is going to be a job that most people will dream of, where less stress, more flexibility, and more overall fulfillment.
Balancing 5 different streams of income definitely keeps me busy, definitely keeps my schedule chaotic. I constantly feel like I'm always doing something different. Sometimes I'm a server, sometimes I work at the dispensary, sometimes I'm a beauty advisor. Like, it literally just depends on the day. Outside of that, as y'all know, my 3 scheduled jobs, I also have additionally my own business where I make hair content. It's something I really enjoy and I'm blessed enough to make money from it. I also am a traveling makeup artist. I just did my first destination wedding in the Caribbean, which was beautiful, and I offer skin services as well. Outside of that, you know, like any other person around my age frame, I like to keep my body in shape. I'm really trying to reform my body, tighten up, tone up, because I'm getting to that age where it's not going to be as easy for me to just drop weight whenever I want to. So I want to be super consistent with taking care of my body, working out, and just, you know, just getting it fit, like getting that body T. But outside of that, I also am a full-time student. I'm going to school for aesthetics right now, and I'm on track to graduate in about 2 months. Woo woo. And yeah, so I have a lot on my plate for sure. And I know a lot of people always give me a lot of praise, but before you guys beat yourselves up about what you're not doing, what y'all see me doing, just know that this is me at least once, if not twice a week, literally crashing the fuck out. So I'm literally just trying my best, y'all, like just trying my best.
During and after COVID, with the remote work boom, more people were working multiple jobs in secret. They weren't letting their employers know that they had multiple jobs, whether part-time jobs, freelance jobs, or full-time jobs. And could be really good for employees, especially if employees want to outsource some of that work. They were able to make more money with either more or less effort, depending on the situation. And it was really great for employees, but for a lot of employers, they had some of these employees that were very distracted, weren't available for certain meetings because they were doing another job. So yeah, I think employers are going to crack down on this. It's one of the big reasons why you see employers want return to office, because when you're in the office, it's very hard to do a second job.
When you apply to a brand new job, don't just think about applying just to get a brand new role. Think of it more as the next step in your career. Most of you guys, when you're applying for a job, you're only applying just to make some money. You're only thinking about that particular job and the wage that you're going to get. But you're not thinking about what type of career this job can get you and what type of path you can go on. This is the main reason why so many of you guys feel stuck. Because you don't actually know what you want to do. You don't actually know what career path you want to go on. And you have no idea what you could see yourself doing for the next 10 to 20 years of your life. Unfortunately, we're in a job market right now where if you don't have a career path in mind and you don't have a career that you want to go down and you just want to be someone who hops from job to job to industry, you're never going to make the most money. It's going to take you ages to get hired anyway. And you're going to spend 5, 10, 15 years of your life hopping around, when if you just spent the first couple of years really figuring out what you want to do and pushing yourself in those first early roles so you get the experience and the skill sets required, if you continue down that path for the next 5, 10, 15 years, you'd be making way more money anyway, and you'd have gone up the career ladder so much more. So next time when you're applying for a job, take a step back and actually think about the job you're applying to and think about, is this something that I actually want to do? Is there some career progression here? Can I make more money? And is this something I see myself doing for the next 10 to 20 years of my life? Because if the answer is no, or if you have no idea, then you need to take some time to really think about things, get some advice, and then when you really know what you want to do, then you can start applying.
Wow, 21,000 people laid off from Intel. It makes you want to rethink giving everything you've got to one employer. The world of work is changing dramatically. Companies are cutting back, and there's so many opportunities for a lifestyle business, for an entrepreneurial lifestyle business, even while you're kind of cutting the strings from your corporate employer. Even people that are, quote, retiring from their corporate life, they're embracing a retirement phase of life, regardless of their age, where they can work on their own terms, pursue their passion, and just really enjoy working for maybe the first time in their lives. This was the decision I made years ago to leave corporate America. I was done with the crazy startup technology world, done with the travel, done with the demands, done with the lack of life balance, done with the discrimination, if you call it, against women in a very male-dominated world. And I started a lifestyle business, and I pretty much have never looked back. But back to my original point about the world of work changing, we as employees and potential entrepreneurs, we need to change with it. We need to up our skill set game as well as our mindset game and learn how to promote ourselves and also network. How about learning how to monetize your knowledge, because your knowledge is worth a lot? And learn about passive income streams so you're not just trading time for money. How about building more than one income stream? And how about working with more than just one employer or one company as a contractor or a vendor because you choose to start your own thing? It's all about having more options and ultimately more independence. And again, if you've had this dream of starting something, starting a business, retiring from corporate life and hanging up the commute and the fancy clothes, and you want to do something that you're passionate about and that you're really skilled at, I have a couple resources for you. One is my Never Too Late to Launch book coming out soon. You can go to this URL below and get on the list to receive notification when it is ready to be ordered. And also make it a priority to work on those skills to slowly transition out of those corporate chains that might be holding you back from your dream life, holding you back from really optimizing your time on this earth. And also you need to be ready, if you are in corporate America, for when they decide to call the shots and they decide to send you home. So start thinking about what you would do if you get downsized, and start thinking about what you might want to do when you leave corporate workplace for good. If you're one of the people that's still in a good position, you're well employed, you have a stable employer, congratulations, but you might want to think about being prepared for when you want to give your boss the boot and you're ready to create a completely different lifestyle. And that lifestyle may include working, whether it's part-time, full-time, starting a business, whatever. Now is a great time to be prepared for it and to test it out and to gradually ease into it on your terms, not when someone else decides it's time to go. All right? So here's to getting her done on your terms.